Write in chat box. Am I audible? Good afternoon, all. Which topic we have covered in the last session? Write in chat box. Give your response quickly. Give your response. Which topic we have covered in the last session? List 10 tuples. Practical 2. Okay. And activity number. Which activity number we have covered? Please give your response so that we can start. Side by side, you open your Jupyter notebook. So simply give your response. Please change date of practical 2. Okay, so practical 2 date, what date you want? Give your response. What date you want? For experiment number 1, 18. So for experiment number 1, experiment number 2. Okay, so this is our experiment number 1. So you have submitted experiment number 1 or not? Okay, so no need to modify this date, these dates. Okay, so you have to modify experiment number 2 dates. So give me the date. Quickly, 18th. Okay, 18th you want. Wait a minute. Okay. we have to change these also, or okay. So the date for this is also 18. Okay. So anything else we have to change? Or okay. So this is the manual for experiment number 2. You have to download this manual for our experiment. Okay. So here you will find the experiment number 2 manual. Okay. From here you can download it, and there is PPT for experiment number 2. So you can download the PPT for this experiment also. This is the experiment number 2 PPT. I have downloaded it. Okay. So I will go directly to my document folder. In this document folder, I have created AI ML lab. So this is experiment number 2 PPT. And this is experiment number 2 manual. Okay. So as you can see, we have completed. This task is completed or not. Introducing the password program, write in chat box which activity we have to complete right now. Quickly give your response. Which activity we have to complete in this session. I have 6 labs for AI and ML, and in each lab there is different experiment going on. So give your response. Sir, we don't have to do these tasks in worksheet, right? So in worksheet, there are different questions. Okay. In worksheet, questions are different. You have to complete those questions. Okay. So when you see your worksheet, you will find that some statements for those questions are different as we are doing in this session. Okay. But they are similar to these assignments. Okay. Just we have to use the basic concepts, and we have to apply those concepts to complete those assignments. Understood, Pankaj? Any doubt? Quickly give your response. So, which task we have to complete? Task number 2. We only need to write code in worksheet, or we also have to explain the code. So you need to define the comments. Okay, you need to define the comments. So what what the particular line is performing, or uh, there are different blocks in between those programs. So those blocks, what is the different operation for these blocks? You have to write down the comment for each section. Okay, understood? Tell me. Okay, so any doubt till now? Which activity we have to perform? CR, third. Okay, so this is the third if-else structure. You have not completed this if-else structure. Some students are saying that we have to perform tuples operations. So This is the indexing, slicing, and tuples we are using in this section. Who is the CR in your class? Raise your hand. Who is the CR of your class? Raise hand. Speak, Karuna, something.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Any doubt till now, bache?
Sir, actually, I was absent in the last classes, so I didn't know what was going on.
You don't know.
Yes, sir.
So those who have attended the last session, please raise their hand. Okay, Karna. Yes, Dilmeet, you may speak. Okay, so you don't want to say something? Okay, mic is not working. Okay, so Dilmeet is saying that we are in task number 8. So we will start from task number 8. So any doubt till now? It's done. Okay, we will start from task number 9. So any doubt till now? Write in chat box. Any doubt till now? From task number 1 to task number 8. Any doubt till now? No doubt, sir. Okay. So we will start with this task number 9. In this task number 9, we have to build a strings. Okay. So we have to create a string. Okay. So how to create a string? So in this program we will learn. So to our the statement of this program is like this: building a new string. You have already seen how you can join two strings with the plus operator. Sometimes you may want to build a new string, one character at a time, since strings are immutable. What you will really be doing is creating a new string every time you see the joining operations, okay, or joining operators, or is introducing no vowel program. So in this program, we have to find out the vowels. Okay. So if there are some vowels present in the statement, then we have to eliminate the vowels. So how to perform this operation? Here is creating constant and creating new string from existing one. Okay. In this task, we have to take the input from the user. Okay, we have to take the input from the user, and we have to check the string which is entered from the keyboard. Okay, if that string contain the vowels, okay, that string contain the vowels, we have to eliminate those vowels, and we have to show the output one character and join those characters one after another in a new line. Okay, as you can see in this diagram or in this figure, first character of a string is represented. After that, we have to join the second character, and in this manner we have to join all the characters excluding the vowels. So vowels are A, I, O, U. Okay, so these are the vowels. So we will exclude those vowels and write the complete string, okay, without those vowels. This is not visible. Okay, no problem. So I will explain right here. Wait a minute. I will explain here. So I'm writing this is my pen. This is the input from the keyboard. Okay, so we have to check this complete string. Okay, so how to check this complete string? We have to define a for loop. Okay, when you define a for loop, so that for loop initialize with some value I is equal to from here to here. Okay, so this I will point initially to this t. Okay, so this t is going to be checked from the vowels a, e. Let's take a small letter a, e, I, o, u. Okay, so this t is present in this vowel or not. If this is present, then we have to eliminate this value. Okay, so we take the value, okay, first value t. If t is present in this, it is not presented in this vowel string. Okay, then what we can do? We will print the letter as it is. Okay, so first output is t. Now the next, for I is equal to 1 to this I plus plus or up to the length of this, okay, string. Okay, the length of the string is calculated and that length is written right here. Okay, then we increment the value of I. So next time this I will point to the h. H is equal to, okay, or not? It is not equal to. So this value is represented after this. Okay, now this again the next time I is pointed by this for loop. Okay, so now I will be checked. So I is present in this vowel string. Okay, so this condition is true. If this condition is true, we have to eliminate the value of this I from this statement. So I is not going to be printed right here. It will be left blank. So how to do this operation? You have to use if-else conditions. You have to use for loop. Okay. So if this condition is true, so we have to check right here. Okay, if this condition is true or false. Okay, if this condition is false, then what we can do? We can join the two strings. Okay, if this condition is true, then we will represent the previous value. Okay, we will represent the previous value. Okay, we will not joining the next character right here. Okay, so we have to perform this task in task number 9. Any doubt till now? Have you understood the problem statement? What we want to do? Sir, can we use continue? Pankaj is asking, can we use continue? If you use the continue statement inside if else continue, so our main motive is to represent the characters like this. How you can represent a character? First time it is represented as T, second time it is represented as TH, third time it is represented again as TH, because it's true. We have to represent the previous output. Okay. Again, next time S is going to be checked. So S is false. So false, then it is going to be added to the previous string. Okay. Now again, I is going to be checked. So I is equal to true. So now we have to represent VHS and this blank space right here. Okay. Nothing going to be changed. Okay. So this is represented like this. So our main task is to use this if else statement. If the condition is false, then we have to join the string. If the condition is true, we have to represent the previous value as it is. So here we can use continue statement in this problem. Inside if else, so you can perform and check. We want our result like this. If this continue statement is working, then no issue. Understood? Pankaj, any doubt till now how to perform this task? Okay. Now let's come to the programming part. Okay. So in this programming, okay. So this is the task number 9. Okay. So let's understand this task. Where can we start now? Write in chat box. Can we start now? Okay. Is it visible to you? Is it visible to you? Task number 9. Yes. Okay. Good. Good. So let's understand the task first. We have to use the if and else statement, or you can use the if statement after for statement. Okay. So in the for statement, what we are doing in the first is we are taking the input, enter a message. Let's suppose that our message is this is my pen. This is my pen. Okay, this is my message. We have taken the input from the keyboard. Now, initially we will take these values to the message. Okay, and we take a new variable as new message. Okay, which is empty. Anything written inside these inverted commas is represented as it is. Okay, so we have not taken anything, okay, inside this variable because it is empty. We have not placed anything in between these inverted commas. Okay, next we have a variable named bobble. In this variable we are placing the vowels A, E, IOU. Okay, whenever you place inverted comma, that is considered as a string. Okay. Now we are using print statement and we are not passing any parameter to this. So that means we are just displaying, or we are just wasting one line of print. So as you can see right here, we are not printing anything, but one line is left blank. Okay. After that, we are using for loop. So in for loop, we are taking the value letter. So what we are doing in the for loop, so we are using for, and we are using this letter in message. So this letter will be checked in message. Okay. So how it is working? This L will point to the T. Okay. And this M will point to the particular this message. Okay. So what is this message? This message is the pointing toward this. Okay. Complete message is pointed toward this M, and this first letter is pointed toward this L. Okay. Understood? Write in chat box. Any doubt till now how this for loop will work? Letters pointed toward the first character, message pointed toward the complete string which is entered from the keyboard. Right now, give your response. Understood or not? Quickly give your response. Understood? Okay, understood. So now this first letter is pointed to this letter. This complete string is pointed toward the message. Okay. Now come to this if statement. In this if statement, what we are doing? First, we are converting the letter into lowercase. Okay. So you know very well that when you represent a complete string, okay, or any value in the console or in the input or in an editor, that has a different meaning because this Python is a case sensitive. Okay, when you write a capital A and a small a, there is a different meaning between these two. So it has different ASCII value, it has different ASCII value. Okay, so that's why what we are doing, please explain again why we are using new message. Okay, so why we are using this new message? We are using this new message because in our program statement, we are adding the character from old message to the new message. As you can see, this T is going to be checked. This T is going to be checked from AEIOU. Okay, if this character is matching with this vowel characters in from all these vowel characters, then what we have to do? We have to eliminate this character. If this character is not matching with these vowels, then we have to add the previous value to this. Okay, understood? So this T, again this is not matching, then TH. Write in chat box. Understood, Punch? Yes, okay. So you understood very well that what is this new message is doing. So we place a new message like here. Okay, this is the new message. We are just adding the previous value with the new one. Okay, so let's understand this first, then we will come to the next point. So here our letter is going to be printed in lowercase. Okay, this letter variable not in, so we have to check the vowels. So, but vowel contain A, E, I, O, U. So, the statement for this is like this. Okay. So, this L is going to be checked from each one of the vowels. Okay. Now, let's come to this. If this is not equal, means if it is false, then what we are going to do? We are creating a new message adding a previous value. Okay. Right now, understood this point? Have you understood this point? Why we are using plus equal to letter? We are just using the previous output. Let's suppose this is my pen. This is my pen. So what we are going to do is T is not equal to this A, E, I, O, U. Okay. So it is true. It is true. Then what we are going to do? We are going to adding up the previous value. So what is the previous value? It is empty right now. It is empty not right now. That's why first time it will print T value. Okay. Next time this H will be checked right here. Next time I will be checked. So I is not equal to the vowels. This condition is going to be false. If this is false, then we have to just represent the previous value, TH. Okay. Understood how we are performing this experiment? Write in chat box. Are you clear about if statement? How you clear about this new message? What this new message doing? Now after that we are just printing the output. Give your response quickly. Give your response. Then we will execute this program and see the output. We will reset all the output. Okay. Now we will see the output from here. We have to execute this program. Enter a message. So message is this is my pen. Okay. This is my pen. You can see right here. First time T is printed, then TH is printing, again TH is printing, and I is eliminated in this. Okay, I is eliminated in this string. Okay, after that THS, again THS is represented because this is my pen. So I is vowel, this I is again a vowel. This is eliminated right here. Okay. Write in chat box. Any doubt till now? Give your response. Can you explain plus equal to again? Okay, I will explain plus equal to again. You can see from this statement. So this new underscore message is equal to plus equal to letter. This is the statement. Okay. So what this letter contain? This letter contain the value from here. Okay. Letter dot layer. This is the letter. Okay. So what this letter contain right now? This letter contain the first character. Let's suppose that this letter contain the first character. Okay. So it will convert this T into lowercase as this T. But from this equation or from this line of code, we convert this T into small t. Okay. Till now it is completed. Not equal to vowel. So this is the not equal to A, E, I, O, U. Okay. So it will check from here. So this condition is true. Right now it is not equal. Then what we can do? We are going to add this T with its previous value. Okay, with this previous value. So what do you mean by this T? This new message is equal to new message plus current value is plus latter. Okay, understood? What do you mean by this new message? So this new message is going to be added with this new message plus latter. Okay, so plus equal to means they are going to be added up together. We have, if you don't want to use this plus equal to, then you write this new message equal to new message plus latter. Any doubt till now? Quickly give your response. No doubt? Okay. So this program is completed. You can see right here, we have printed the statement as it is, and we have eliminated all the vowels from the string. Any doubt till now? Write in chat box. Can we move to our next task? Task number 10. Okay. So the task number 10 is based on your tuples. Okay. So we are creating hero inventory in which we have to create some tuples. So from the statement, you can see from here that is it visible to you? So since tuples are simply another kind of sequence, everything you learned about sequences from strings work with tuples. You can get the length of a tuple, print each element with the for loop, and use the in operator to test if the element is a tuple. You can index, slice, and join tuples. Okay. Introducing hero inventory. Our hero journey continues. In this program, this inventory is counted, tested, indexed, and sliced. Okay. Our hero will also happen upon a chest with items in it represented by another tuple, though through tuple uh, continuations. Our hero inventory will be replaced with all of his current items plus the treasures he finds in the chest. What we are going to do in this statement? We are just creating a tuple and we are using those tuple for the inventory purpose. Okay, so how to create a tuple? First, you need to understand. Okay, so from the next slide, let's see. This is the indexing part of the tuple in which you have to index from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and from -4 to up to -1. Okay, in this manner you can index the tuple. Indexing start from 0. Understood? After that, the values for this tuples can be sliced. Okay, we can separate each words from complete string. Okay, so slicing positions for tuples are defined between the elements, just as they are for strings. Okay, so this is the tuple immutability. So like string, tuples are immutable. That means you cannot change a tuple. Here is an interactive sessions to prove my point. Okay, so here you can see we have created inventory as a tuple. So how to create a tuple? You have to use these braces. Okay, when you use capital braces, then that is a list. Okay, when you use these small braces, then this statement is called as a tuple. Okay, if you want to print a tuple, you have to just write the tuple name after print statement. That will display your tuple. Okay, so in the next, we have defined the zeroth index of your tuple. So the zeroth index of the tuple is defined as a battle X. So tracking back most recent all last, while this echo shell line number 1 in inventory 0 battle type error. So these are some errors generated during the execution of your program. Okay, how these errors are generated? Because we are defining some values that are not defined in the program. Okay, so this object does not support item assignments. Okay, although you can change a tuple like string, you can create a new tuple from the existing one. Okay, so let's understand this tuple concept first, then we will move further. Okay, any doubt till now how to represent tuple? What is the difference between tuple and list? So how you can represent a list? How you can represent a list? How you can represent a tuple? Give your response. Quickly give your response. When you want to define a list, you have these brackets, and inside these brackets you have to define the particular list. Okay, so here you can define the list. But when you are using tuples, you can use these braces, and inside these braces you can define the tuple. Any doubt till now? Quickly give your response. Any doubt till now? Quickly give your response. No doubt. No doubt. Okay, very good. Now come to the programming part. Let's understand this programming part first. So what we are doing in this programming. So you can see from here that we are creating an inventory. Okay. So in that inventory, we have to create the different types of data types. Like here, we have created this inventory, and in this inventory, all the integer value, all these what we can say string values are placed right here. Okay, so how to create this inventory? We have to define. Okay, so first, what we are doing, if not inventory and print, you have not entered anything. So what we are doing right here, we are creating a variable. Let's suppose that that variable name is inventory. Okay, that variable name is inventory, and we have used that variable. Okay, let's suppose that it is an inventory variable. So initially this inventory variable is placed as empty. Okay, so inventory variable is placed as empty, means it has nothing. Okay, and then you are using the condition, if condition, if not inventory. So it will check if not inventory, it will check this inventory. Okay, if there is nothing present in this inventory, it will ask you to enter something from the keyboard. Okay, so now press the enter key to continue. Karuna is saying that time is over. Okay, so we will continue our session. You may leave the session and rejoin the session again. Okay, so students are saying that time is over. We will stop right here and we